illustration, but it just came with my picture. So it's like, hey, look at me. Here's a picture of me. But just for those of you who don't know, I have a speaking ministry on the side, and so I try to do. They do an almost daily Bible study. I do a kind of weekly here and there. Twitter and 1MoreDay Ministries. I try to do it daily, and lately my days have, I don't know, my days have gone. So maybe scholarship writing and wedding planning and Mr. Cy Falls next week. Somehow I got to be the chairman of Mr. Cy Falls. Those of you who don't know what that is, like a beauty pageant for boys, senior boys. So, and of course I was in it. So he should win, but he won't, because I'm not going to let him. But anyway, okay, let's move on. And hey, speaking of just the boys thing shooting up, I think Melissa, you ought to plan a girls' day shooting up now that you got a CD. Now she's packing. Now she's got her license. So really excited to have you. I was so humbled last week when I left. I couldn't even speak. I just cried. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, there you go. I cried all the way home. I couldn't speak much during the day because God has been so faithful. And we were praying, and I was kind of joking when I threw out the number 100. Hey, let's see. We started with 8 in our Sunday school class, and we wanted to just see what God's doing. Let's see, let's just throw it out there and see what God will do. And we just kept growing out of the room, and it just got so big. You are a part of something big. And if you don't realize that, you need to. Because God is doing a work. And it is our job to find out where He's working and to join Him. And I'll tell you, He is working in this class. And I am just blown away at God's faithfulness and His goodness. And I'm so excited to be on this ride with you. But it also comes with a little fear, because it's like, okay, Lord, you're calling us to something big and something greater. What does that entail? And so I'm really, really excited to be part of this with you. And we are studying a book, where you can tell I've been studying this book, by Stephen Furtick, called Greater. He's a pastor out in North Carolina, South Carolina. South, North, I don't know. He's in Carolina, and he's just awesome. And so I've really honestly been teaching out of these two books combined. And we just combined. I don't even take notes out of it, so I won't take notes and rerun out of it. So really excited to be here. And I'm going to review for those of you who weren't here just real fast. And last week I got so excited that I spent all the time on the review that I didn't get to spend much time on the lesson. Thought I could finish it up this week, but last night as I was going over it one more time, I thought, no way, I'm slowing down. This stuff is awesome. So 2 weeks left of this greater series. Just want to tell you, I love this. We're in imminent danger. We aren't in imminent danger of ruining our lives. We're in danger, more danger of wasting them. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that God has called us in 2015 to something greater. And it is our job to find that out. Sometimes even though the life we have is good, are you haunted? Are you haunted by a sense that on the other side of the fence marks off a life that you're living is a greater place that's prepared for you? We always wonder, what if there's something greater? And I don't mean a greater wife or a greater husband or a greater car or a greater house or all those you can't find a greater husband. You can't find a greater vehicle. Scott's 2002 red Suburban, Herb the Burb is what we called it. It died yesterday.
Oh. Yay!
It has oil. So I've been working for weeks. I knew it was about to die. So I've been working with a friend of mine who just really was able to get us an amazing deal. Talk about God's grace. He's big time in cars. He knows people, and so he just got us this deal. It was really unbelievable.
He paid us.
Price. What?
He paid us.
No, he didn't. And so I lied to Scott. I did straight up lie. Tyler helped me get over it. Tyler helped me, but Tyler wouldn't lie. So I was like, I'm not lying, but I'll go with you. And we drove the car with the oil and the smoke coming out the back, and we drove it up into the light. Scott didn't know. Scott was here all day, and so when Scott came home yesterday, we pulled up with a brand new car for Scott. And so that was great. And so Scott, but we are still paying our tithes, and we are still making our things. People go, but the car died. I mean, it literally. And then the funny part was, I was thinking, sure, everybody gets $2,000 to $4,000 for a trade-in, right? Right? So he comes back and he was like, okay, That's it. So, but we're not talking about greater cars. Sorry I had to face that, but I'm just excited because I'm so excited for Scott for that. Because he never asked for anything. He wouldn't even ask for new, but he had to have a new car. So we God's calling us to greater things in our lives. And for some of us, that might be a new career. But some of us, that might be a career just doing it better. Because good enough is just not good enough anymore. And it's not going to be okay for us just to be okay. Because what's going to happen is the dreams are going to die the more we put them off. So let's go to the next one. So we talked about how do we become greater. We talked about when we first met Elijah was a plowman. He was behind oxen, and every day he would get in, and we talked about the smell and how it just became familiar. We talked about so many times, here we are behind plow, we're in hard work, we're doing all this tough stuff, and it just becomes really familiar to us. The tiring of the familiar. And so Elijah came to Elisha. If you want to read all this, it's in 1st and 2nd Kings. He went back and he said, look, you're called for greater things. And so because this is what he looked at every day. Go to the next one. Every day, this is what Elijah looked at every day. And we talked about in our lives, sometimes this is what we're looking at every day. And it becomes okay. And we don't even realize that that's not okay. That God has something greater than us than this. And the stuff that comes out of that, because we're stepping in it, we smell like it. God says, listen, there is something more for you. So we need to check the view. So let's go to the next one. So then what happens is Elijah goes back, and not only does he kill the oxen and feed the people, he burns the plows. And so we talked about, we were like, why in the world would he burn the plow? It was because he was getting away completely from his old life. And there were some plows that we had to burn in our lives. And we talked about this. So your plow is what changed you to the ordinary. What is it that changed you? And I talked about, for me, it was someone on my Facebook page, and that's just one plow, that I needed to unfriend. Because I was becoming addicted to their lives and consumed, and it wasn't anything weird like that, but it was weird. It was just, and God was telling me to burn that plow. And so we talked about what is it, why are we so afraid sometimes? And I told you, it took me 2 weeks to do it. And the only reason I did it is because I stood in front of you and I popped off and I said, I have to burn that plow. And I was afraid to show up the next week and not burn the plow. Is this Brian texting me like every day, burn the plow yet? First I was like, no, I've been busy. No, I haven't been on Facebook. No, whatever. And then I just said, shut up. And then I just quit. And then I just delete. Every time you look, delete. Oh, and he's like, you haven't. He's like, yeah, block him. And he's like, you haven't responded. Oh, I've been busy. I didn't want to answer. So sometimes God's calling us. Some people never get greater because they're afraid to leave good behind. Let's move on. It's drastic to cut ties with the thing that's chaining you to a life that you become comfortable with. But the real risk isn't launching into a new life of greater things. It's staying in the life of the ordinary. We're just reviewing. Let's go back. Let me keep going. So we tell that we have to burn the plow. Let's go on. And a lot of times we get stuck after we burn the plow. And we're like, what's the matter? And so we talked about there's 2 things. One is we don't think big enough, or we don't start small enough. Because sometimes I say, oh, God's calling me to live a life and, to be a missionary and to be a public speaker, let's say. God's calling me to be a public speaker. And so, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. I got to finish this, it's that false verse. But I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. Don't freak, Scott. I'm just kidding. It's just an example. And so, but God says, I don't want you to quit your job tomorrow. I want you to do this, baby. I want you to unfriend that person on your Facebook. Or I want you to quit watching this show. Or I want you to sever that relationship with that person. Or I want you to quit doing this. He says, I'm starting small. And too many times we think, oh, well, God, that's just little. And God says, why in the world would I give something big if you're not even obedient with something small? Let's keep going. So, God says, you got to dig some ditches. If I'm going to tell you you're going to be greater, we talked about this. If you're going to be greater, you've got to dig ditches. If you're going to marry Mrs. Right, you've got to be Mr. Right. You Keep going, keep going. Keep going. We talked about, and once you start burning plows and digging ditches, that God is going, that more than likely you're going to become discouraged because things don't always work out. Sometimes we don't trade ashes for beauty. We trade ashes for ashes. And things get a little tough. But when you step back upon further review, you see what God's doing. All right, let's go. The key to walking in freedom is often connected to obedience in the area of our lives where we've locked into patterns of resistance. We've got to start saying yes to God. Let's go. This way. Oh, no, go back. Go back. Stay right here. All right. So, really, the Naaman? Did you cast Naaman?
Yes.
No. Throwing me off. All right. So, turn with me to 2 Kings. Don't do that to me. We're going to talk about today. This is where we are. So y'all are so caught up, right? I hope you're caught up. Hey, congratulations to our marathoners and half marathoners last week. Sorry, just saw you in the back. Congratulations. Awesome job. That's a long way. Okay? 26.2 miles is a long way to drive, much less run. Okay? It is. So y'all did awesome. All right. So here's my question. Here's the thing. Is it possible to be too good for your own good? To be too great for your own good? Does an image of a certain kind of person come to mind when we say that? Like the girl in the high school that was like this drop-dead beautiful, and she knew it. Or, y'all have one of these at work? I do. Captain Applesauce. Y'all have one of those? Awesome sauce? I mean, applesauce. Awesome sauce. I call him awesome sauce because Steve Burton calls him awesome sauce. He just thinks he's all that. Yesterday in basketball, Tyler and I were talking. He coaches a team at the same time I coach. He coaches 3rd and 4th grade girls, and I coach kindergarten and 1st grade girls. Speaking of, they're right here, and you need to pray for them. Especially pray for her, because she has them. Okay? Pray for the coach, pray for this. Because oh my gosh, I have twins and I have sisters and okay, but it's awesome fun. But do you know somebody, so Tyler and I we're driving Herb the Bird to get a new truck, and we're driving, he says, Mom, I gotta tell you. He says, I almost popped the kid's mouth today. And I said, Tyler, that's not acceptable. She's 3rd and 4th grade. And I said, Tyler, what do you mean you popped the girl in the mouth? He says, this little girl that we play opposite of, he said, she was really good. He said, she's really good, Mom. She could dribble, she could shoot, she could defend. I mean, she's good. So after the game, I went up to her and I said, hey, you're really good. And she says, and this is Tyler, he goes, I know. And I said, she said what? And she says, I know, I'm the best one on the team. And Tyler goes, you know what? I didn't want to give her, I wish I would have taken that compliment away because that makes me sick. So I said, well, come on, we got some time. Let's play one-on-one right now. I was like, Tyler, she's 3rd grade. He's like, I don't care, Mom, I need to just shut her up. And I said, Tyler. And he said, because he said, Mom, those kind of people make me sick. And I said, Tyler, I know. Because it's prideful. Sometimes people are really great and they're full of talent and vision and dedication. It's remarkable, when we see them doing their thing. However, we've all witnessed people who are blessed with God-given talent but sabotage it because of their self-centered pride. And I thought of that little girl when I was reading this yesterday. When we think about people who are prideful, we might think of LeBron James. I mean, I don't know who you might think of. Flamboyant, movie stars, divas, I don't know. But usually the person we don't think of when we think about pride is who? Ourselves. We don't think about pride. And pride is a hidden cancer that gnaws on our insides. And so today we're going to talk about some pride in our lives. If we're going to become greater, we've got to look at our own self. A lot of times we get prideful because we size ourselves up to the wrong person. We use the wrong plumb line. We use our neighbor who didn't get up for church this morning, and we're here. We were even here at the 9 o'clock service, right? We size ourselves up about the one who cusses all the time at work, and we don't. We just say crap, and we don't say the other one. We size ourselves up. We're not that bad. We size ourselves up against the one that we just watch, soft porn versus real porn, like our friend. We size ourselves up because we only sin sometimes. Because, we only talk about our husband a little bit to each other. I don't bash him all the time. So we size ourselves up, and what God says, look, that's okay, well and good, but you're not sizing yourself up for the right person. If you're going to live the greater life, you've got to be lined up And the greater we become in God, the less about us really matters. We don't build true greatness by adding self-esteem. We build it by becoming self-reliant on God. So, turn with me to 2 Kings 5. I want to talk to you about Captain Awesome Sauce. His name was Naaman. His name is Naaman. Chapter 2 Kings, the Old Testament, chapter 5, verse 1. Here's what it says. Now Naaman was commander of the army of the king of Aram, and he was a great man in the sight of the master and highly regarded,